Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today is Tuesday, a beautiful and surprisingly sunny day, but honestly, there is a massive storm brewing in Salem and we need to talk about it right now. Grab a coffee or whatever you need, because we have a lot of ground to cover today. So let's just get right into it because I have been staring at my screen for hours thinking about this, and I am honestly just so tired of the way things are going for some of our veteran characters. Are you guys seeing what I'm seeing? Because we need to talk about Roman and Kate. Are they leaving Time's Days of Our Lives? Like actually leaving? Because the rumors are swirling everywhere, and the more I think about it, the more I realize that it might actually be time. And that hurts to say. It really does. But let's be real here for a second. They haven't had a clear front burner storyline in what feels like an absolute eternity. It's just been bits and pieces. A scene here at the Brady pub. A scene there. And it's starting to feel like the writers just don't know what to do with them anymore. And budget cuts are a real thing. We all know how the soap industry works right now. It is brutal out there. Shows are constantly trying to trim the fat and save money wherever they can. Lots of characters get dropped to recurring status or just written off entirely to cut costs. We've seen it happen to so many favorites over the years. So, the idea that Kate and Roman could be on the chopping block? It's completely plausible. It makes terrible, heartbreaking sense from a financial perspective. If you have two highly paid veteran actors who aren't driving the main plot, the network is going to look at that and start doing the math. It's just the ugly reality of the business. But let's look at what is actually happening on screen right now, because it is a mess. Kate and Roman are currently in this freezing cold war. It is icy. Roman is still furious and has not forgiven Kate for what she did to Johnny. And honestly, I get it. I really do. Roman is fiercely protective of his family. He always has been. And when it comes to Sammy's kids, Roman is like a bear defending his cubs because he knows Sammy isn't always around to do it herself. Johnny is his grandson. So whatever Kate did to interfere in Johnny's life, whatever strings she pulled or chaos she caused, Roman is just done with it. He is drawing a line in the sand. Kate is just being Kate, right? We all know her. She cannot help herself. She is a meddler. She is a schemer. She has this pathological need to control the people around her and manipulate situations to fit her vision of how things should be. And sometimes she does it out of a twisted sense of love, but it always backfires. Always. You'd think after all these decades she would learn, but no. She just keeps doing it. And she messed with Johnny. And Roman is just sitting there at the pub, wiping down the same counter he's been wiping down for years, just seething with anger. So, what happens next? Let's just play this out. What if Roman eventually forgives her? Because they always seem to find their way back to each other, right? It's this endless cycle. They fight, they break up, they realize they are too old and too tired to start over with anyone else, and they reconcile. So, let's say Roman finally softens. He looks at Kate, remembers all the history they share, all the trauma they've survived, and he decides to let the Johnny thing go. They patch things up. They heal the rift. What then? Do they just go back to serving chowder and making small talk with whoever wanders into the pub? Because if they do reconcile, I honestly think that might be the perfect catalyst for them to leave Salem. Think about it. What is keeping them there? Really? Roman has handed over the reins of the police department a long time ago. Kate isn't running Demera or Titan right now. They are just kind of existing in the background. If they finally get their relationship back on solid ground, maybe they look around at all the chaos in Salem and just say, you know what? We're done. Let's get out of here. They could pack their bags, leave the pub to Eric or someone else, and just travel the world. Kate deserves to be on a yacht somewhere in the Mediterranean, not arguing about potato supply chains in a pub kitchen. And honestly, when you look at the other storylines happening right now, Roman and Kate's drama just feels so small. It feels so disconnected from the main action. I mean, look at what else is going on. We have Theo and Chad literally finding Lexi dying in an underground pod in the Demera tunnels. Like Lexi Carver. Alive but dying in a pod. That is massive, high-stakes, classic dual drama. We have EJ running illegal experiments and facing the absolute wrath of Holly because she's going to find out he planted those drugs. And Nicole is rumored to be coming back just to slap EJ into next week. That is the juicy, dramatic, edge-of-your-seat stuff that the fans are craving. Next to all of that, Roman being mad at Kate about Johnny just feels boring? Okay, maybe I'm being too harsh. I love these characters. I really do. I've been watching them for years. But you have to admit the contrast is wild. On one side of town, people are finding resurrected relatives in secret underground laboratories, and on the other side of town, Roman is giving Kate the silent treatment over a family squabble. It's just not balanced. And I think the writers know that. I think they know they don't have a big, explosive story for Roman and Kate right now. So maybe writing them out is the most respectful thing to do. I know fans on social media are completely divided on this. I was scrolling through Twitter and the message boards last night, and people are fighting about it. Some fans are saying, yes, please, let them retire in peace. Give them a happy ending and let them go. But then you have the die-hard loyalists who are saying, if you get rid of Roman and Kate, you are erasing the history of the show. You can't just throw away legacy characters because you don't know how to write for them. And I totally see both sides. I really do. But let's talk about Kate's history for a second. This is a woman who has survived everything. She has been buried alive. She has been poisoned. She has survived Stefano de Mera, Victor Kiriakis, and Vivian Alamy. She is a survivor. The idea that she would just quietly fade into the background because of a budget cut feels wrong. If Kate Roberts is going to leave Salem, she needs to leave with a bang. She needs to do something spectacular. Not just quietly pack a suitcase and take a cab to the airport. She needs to wear an absolutely insane, fabulous outfit, deliver a scathing monologue to her enemies, and fly out on a private jet. That is the exit Kate Roberts deserves. And Roman. Poor Roman. This guy used to be the top ISA agent. He used to be the police commissioner. He has taken bullets, he has been brainwashed, he has fought the worst villains Salem has ever seen. And now, he's just the grumpy grandpa making sandwiches. It breaks my heart to see how much his character has been diminished over the years. If they are going to write him out, they need to give him a moment of heroism first. Let him solve one last case. Let him do something that reminds us why Roman Brady is a legend. Don't just have him walk out the door of the pub and never come back. But let's get back to the Johnny situation, because that is the immediate roadblock. Why is Kate so obsessed with meddling in Sammy's kids' lives? It all goes back to the ancient history between Kate and Sammy. Those two have hated each other for decades. They fought over Austin, they fought over Lucas, they fought over EJ. Kate has never ever respected Sammy. And by extension, she always thinks she knows what is best for Sammy's children. She looks at Johnny, and she doesn't just see her husband's grandson. She sees Sammy's kid, and she probably thinks she is saving him from making the same mistakes his mother made. But Roman is never going to see it that way. Roman is always going to defend Sammy. So this Cold War, it's not just about Johnny. It's about decades of unresolved resentment. It's about the fact that Kate can never truly accept Roman's family without trying to control them. And Roman is finally exhausted by it. I am exhausted by it, just watching it. How many times can we watch them have the exact same argument? Kate, you went too far. Roman, I did it for his own good. It is a broken record. And maybe that's why the rumors of them leaving are gaining so much traction. Because the writers have written them into a corner. They have repeated this cycle so many times that there is nowhere left to go. If they do reconcile, and if they do decide to leave, how do you guys think it will happen? Will it be a joint decision? Will Roman finally look at her and say, Kate, let's just go. Let's leave the DeMera drama, the Brady drama, the Salem drama behind us. I can actually picture that scene. I can picture them standing in the pub after closing time, the lights are dim, and they just realize they are done. It would be a really beautiful, quiet moment. A rare moment of peace for two people who have lived incredibly chaotic lives. But then again, this is Time's Days of Our Lives. Nothing is ever that simple. Maybe the reconciliation doesn't happen. Maybe the Cold War escalates. What if Kate refuses to back down? What if she doubles down on whatever she did to Johnny and completely alienates Roman forever? If they break up for good, maybe Kate leaves Salem alone. Maybe she goes to Europe to rebuild her empire. And maybe Roman stays behind, alone in the pub, just fading into the background even more. That would be a tragic ending, but honestly, it might be more realistic given how stubborn they both are. I just don't know what to think anymore. Half of me wants them to stay because I can't imagine Salem without them. The pub wouldn't feel the same without Roman's iconic voice. The town wouldn't feel the same without Kate strutting around in her wild outfits, dropping snarky comments. But the other half of me is just so tired of seeing them wasted. It's like keeping a classic sports car in the garage and never driving it. What is the point? If you aren't going to use them, let them go. Let the actors move on. Let the characters have a happy retirement. And think about the budget. If they do let Roman and Kate go, that frees up a lot of money. Money that could be used to build new sets, or bring back other characters, or invest in these massive storylines like the underground pods and the drug ring. It's a trade-off. We lose two legends, but maybe the overall quality of the show improves because they have more resources to put into the front burner plot. It's a tough pill to swallow, but that's the reality of television right now. I don't know, maybe I'm overthinking this. Maybe next week they will suddenly announce a massive new storyline for Roman and Kate, and all of these rumors will turn out to be completely false. Maybe Kate will suddenly take over Demera Enterprises again, and Roman will have to investigate her for corporate espionage. I would watch that. I would absolutely watch that. But I'm not holding my breath. The writers seem pretty focused on the younger generation right now. They are focused on Holly and Johnny and Chad and Theo. The veterans are just getting pushed further and further to the side. So, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think it's time for Roman and Kate to pack their bags? Are you tired of this endless Cold War over Johnny? Do you think they will actually reconcile, or is this the final straw for their relationship? I really want to hear your theories because my brain is just going in circles at this point. I'm gonna keep watching, obviously, because I am addicted to the show, but I am definitely preparing myself for a goodbye. It feels inevitable. It really does. Anyway, that's all I have for today. I need to go lay down and process all of this. I will see you guys in the next update.